Hello, friends. It's me, Tank, and I'm back after a week off. I had to take some time to get a little bit better. I did something or to my shoulder, or I'm just getting old and had to go to the ER to get that shoulder taken care of. So yeah, didn't get a video out last week, and so I finally finished the Zaku 2 Gundam. And the last video showed the build, and the previous pictures you just saw were the build completed. But I thought I could do a better job, and as you can see, the Zaku 2 is all painted and weathered as well, as you can see. Now, the reason it looks like that is because the environment that this particular Gundam would supposedly have been in is at the end of the 1 Year War on Earth in Southeast Asia. And the year would be 0079 in the Universal Century. Now, this is a Xeon mobile suit, and Xeon are basically uh, people from Earth that went into space and formed these colonies and is now coming back to wage war on the Earth against the Earth Federation forces. So they aren't from Earth initially because they are basically from space. They're still humans, but they are in space colonies. That last picture on that little slide in the beginning would show what a colony would look like. So, in my mind, when I think of uh, occupation force or a uh, mobilized force in a different country, especially in Southeast Asia. Well, this isn't just a different country, it's a different planet, but it takes place in Southeast Asia. This isn't within what I would believe to be their supply lines. You know, it's a forward operating base, so the equipment isn't going to be pristine. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be used up. It's going to be at the end of a war. So the Zaku that I built and painted is going to be used up. It's going to have some scarring. It's going to have mud all over it. And so that's how I built it. And I'm just going to go over some of the details as we take a look at it. Okay, starting off at the front, you can see that I used different shades of gray, different shades of green, and a mixture of blue and gray in some joint areas to kind of mimic what the original model plastic was. But I also used a matte finish on most of it so that it wouldn't be so shiny and plasticky looking. Also, you'll see mud splatter again because this is supposed to be used in Southeast Asia. Now, moving on to the left side, you'll see the shoulder pauldron is scored and dirty. There's a silver tip there where the paint has all worn off. His elbow pad has got a mud spot where he put his elbow down on the mud. Um, you'll see wearing on the side of his uh, skirt there that is around the uh, lower torso, upper leg area of the Zaku. Now to the backside. Again, you'll see on the left shoulder pauldron, it's really dirty, obviously, a lot of carbon scoring, probably, grease thrown around. That other point on the shoulder pauldron, you see it's shining silver because it's worn down. Moving over to the right shoulder shield, you'll see in some of these points where it's going to bump up in things and it's scratched, you'll see it's silver. You'll see a lot of the dirt and grease there, you know, being shown there. Also, the uh, the axe now, or the hawk, is mounted on the back of the skirt. You'll see the mud splatter on the boots and on the back of the calves and on the skirt there as well. You should notice the skirt's pretty dirty. Nothing looks clean. Everything looks pretty worn. Looking at the right side, you can really see that wear on the edges of the shoulder shield. Again, you can see the mud on the boot area, up the calf, and you can also get a picture of the alternate head and the the alternate hand that you can use to put the hawk into. Now, on the right hip area, you're going to see 3 grenades. I didn't weather those because, in my mind, those would be replenished quite often. So you're never going to really see any super dirty, I think, because they're going to get used quite often and then replenished. So those are probably about the only thing that's really like clean and pristine on this Zaku. The rifle itself is even it's pretty clean because even though you're in the mud and the dirt, you want to keep it clean, but it's weathered as well, so it's not perfect looking, but it's going to be functional because I mean you're going to keep your rifle clean before you keep yourself clean, and that's life or death. Looking at from the bottom, you'll see the mud on the boots, on the knees, and if you look at the right side of the skirt and up to the or excuse me, as you're looking at it on the right side of the skirt and on the right side of the chest armor, you're going to see what looks like mud that had splattered up. That I literally took a glob of the paint and flicked it off my brush to create that perfect splash pattern. That was just by chance, and it looks real because it was really splattered on there. Now, to get the effect on the boots, I loaded a paper towel up with the color of the paint that I wanted, and I smashed the boots into it to wrap around the boot as if he would have stepped into a muddy puddle or something. And then I use the remainder of the paint on that uh, paper towel to dab over different parts of the knee and the shin area, and I like it. You tell me what you think in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and if you like this content, please subscribe. And again, any comments or any discussions in the comments, please be nice to everybody. This isn't a place for negativity. And this is Tank signing out, and I'll see you next time. Dang, it's me again. I almost forgot. I wanted to point out something. If you look at the pictures on these side by sides here, you're going to see the seams where the two parts made it together. And even on the helmet one, on that first picture there, you're going to see where I nipped it too close and it's not smooth. Well, I didn't like those seams like on the Zaku head. I thought that should be one piece. And so I achieved getting it to look smooth, as you see on the right side on that side by side, by filling it in with the Micro Mark acrylic airbrush primer that I used. Now, I didn't airbrush it, I did it with a brush. I went over it once, let it dry, and then once that primer sealed the seam, I went ahead and primered it again, let it dry, and then sanded it fine, and the paint covered it up. You don't see the seam. Also, on this next picture, where you see the side by sides, you on the leg where the two pieces came together. To me, that didn't make sense of having a seam there because that's an exposed area, and it wouldn't be that would be more of an armored area that would be stronger. So that's another place that I used the primer to fill in that seam and then paint over it. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out.